Hi, this is Coral from Finding Firelight. Hey! And today I'm playing with some shipping tags and some stencils. The one I'm using today is from Crafter's Workshop. It's a little 6x6 one. And some modelling paste. This is just one of the ones that was at the shop where I went that wasn't crazy expensive, but I'm sure there's lots of other brands out there. So I've got a number 6 shipping tag and I'll overlay the stencil over it and then open up the modelling paste, take out a big scoop. Now I use a palette knife, but you could easily use a credit card or something like that. And then what you want to do is just smear the modelling paste across the stencil. Don't press too hard. If you press too hard, the modelling paste goes too flat and you just don't get the height, which kind of defeats the purpose, of course. Just make sure it covers all the holes. If you get like palette knife marks or little bubbles, which I sometimes do, I kind of think that actually adds a bit more to it, so don't be too freaked out by that. When you think you've got it all covered, just peel up the stencil. Take that away, and then you can see the height from the stencil and the modelling paste. So put that aside to dry. Where I live is quite humid in Queensland in Australia, so it can take a little while to dry. I've tried to paint over it after about half an hour. I'll just clean this off. After about half an hour, and when I rubbed paint on, it started to smear the modelling paste. So I actually did some yesterday for me to play with today for you. So if you're patient enough to wait a whole day, go for it. I'm usually not, so I usually make quite a few at once, and then by the time you've finished the last one, the first one might be a bit dry. You could probably have a go at blasting it with your heat gun as well. So here's one I've made before, using another Crafter's Workshop stencil. This one's like the antique diamond one, so that's super cute. Really like this one. And then what I'm going to do is paint it with some of the Ranger paint dabbers. This one's from Jenny Bolan, soap powder, and this one's Jenny Bolan as well, so that's Spice Tin. I really like this dark one. So what we're going to do is just put a few dabs of the paint on. I've seen a video where Tim Holtz talks about these and emphasises that they're paint dabbers, not hammer paints. But I'm pretty heavy-handed with my stuff, to be honest. So just start smearing it with your fingers. So yeah, this light blue dabber especially is a bit, had it because I've been a bit too hard when I've been mashing away. Sorry, Tim. So don't cover all of it, you just want to cover your bits and pieces. And then bring in your dark blue one. Give it a bit of a scrub-a-dub-dub. And then you want to just give it a quick rub with your fingers. I prefer to paint with my fingers. I think it gives a bit of a nicer finish than just with a paintbrush. It can be a bit sort of clinical, if you know what I mean. Try and work the paint in to the edges of the modelling paste, because otherwise they can stay a bit manila. And if you think you've sort of gone a bit crazy with one of the colours, just, you know, add a little bit more, you'll get away with that. You can do a few layers till you're happy with the look. And I like how this sort of all blends together. You can see it's blending together there. Now, what you want to do is just clean off your thing. You probably don't really need to, but I will just for you. Right, now, just give your tag a bit of a waft, bit of a blow, a bit of whatever, just to dry it off a bit. They're acrylic paint, so they dry pretty quick, but I'm the queen of impatience, so I don't like to wait. We're going to use some Adirondack Colour Wash in Denim, more blue, my favourite. And we're going to spritz it onto the craft sheet. You don't want a nice big full puddle, you want the splatters and the splotches. Let's give that a bit more of a waft. And then what we're going to do is just press it down on there. And you can give it a bit of a wipe as well if you like on the edges. And you see how much that's popped up the diamond shape. It's really made it stand out. When you first put the paint on, it kind of drifts away any of the height, but then with that spray ink it really pops it up. So I'll just wipe that off. I'd normally smear that on another tag. If you've seen Dina Wakely's Creative Jumpstart video with her tags and her inks, oh my gosh, it's such a good video. And she does that all the time. She mops up with the spare tags. Now what I'm going to do next is use some of the Tim Holtz Distress Stain, the Picket Fence. Give it a bit of a shake, give it a squeeze, and I just like to smear it onto my palette knife and then tilt it and then kind of throw it at the tag. It doesn't sort of come out super duper quick, so you've kind of got to give it a bit of love to make it happen, but that means you don't get too much on there. Okay, and you can see how that's splattering on there now, so that's really cute. And that's a really good start for the base of a tag. I'll show you some finished other examples. This one is with some aged scrapbook paper on. I'm still playing with this one, but that's the same idea as the one that we've just done. This one I really like. It's using the same colours we've just used, and on the modelling place I've just used some white paint dabber on my finger and just gently rubbed, or as gentle as I get, gently rubbed over the raised sections, and that's almost given it a chalkboard effect. You can see with the same paints how sort of different that's come up. This one I really like. It's meant to be like a patina look, but it's quite bright with the blue and green, and then I've used a Brilliance copper ink pad just to rub over the raised sections. So these are really good bases for extras, like a great background for your tags. And this one's using the Claudine Helmuth Studio paints. I love her paints, they're super smooth and gorgeous. I've used an orange and red here, and then used a teal green again just with my fingers rubbing over the edges. So they're really good for the tag journal project that I've been working on, which if you're reading the blog you will have seen. So that's my quick little video on stencils and modelling paste with paints and inks. Thanks for watching. I'm Coral from Finding Firelight. Bye!